Before the video begins, if you like this video, please consider subscribing. Our goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Anime, a beloved medium of entertainment that has captured the eyes of thousands of children and adults, young and old alike, from across the world. From beautiful environments to heart-wrenching stories, anime is truly a medium of wonder and imagination. And one of the things that anime is most well known for are the epic battles that ensue within their stories. Some of the most visually and emotionally gripping battles have come from anime. Take battles like Goku vs. Frieza, for example, for the fight and the sake of the universe. Naruto vs. Pain, the fight of ideologies within inside of you. And even a character like Jotaro vs. Dio, the fight for survival and familial ties within you. One of the most common writing techniques within these stories and within these fights are signature moves or named attacks. For example, everyone knows Goku's Kamehameha. Guarantee that you have more than likely tried to do this on the playground. Today I would like to hone in on one particular move, the Rasengan from Naruto, and ask you, the audience, this. Is there anyone else within the Naruto franchise who could feasibly use the Rasengan? We see a decent handful of characters using this technique: Naruto, Minato, Boruto, Kakashi, Konohamaru, and Jiraiya. But what if there was one more? What if another character who is considered a genius in their own right and has extreme aptitude for ninjutsu could use this powerful technique? Today, I would like to argue that Orochimaru could and should be able to perform the Rasengan. Among all the characters within the Naruto franchise, Orochimaru stands out as a character whose pursuit of power knows no bounds. As an enigmatic figure who's seeking immortality and limitless strength, Orochimaru's potential to wield the Rasengan would likely surpass that of Jiraiya, given the sheer amount of time that Orochimaru has spent into the research and development of new ninjutsu. We know that the Rasengan's main requirement is immense chakra control, which Orochimaru should definitely have with the abilities that he's able to use, such as the Edo Tensei, the Reverse Reaper Death Seal. His immense regenerative abilities rely on chakra control alone, and even things like summoning Manda or the Rashomon Gates. The Rasengan also seems to have an innate connection to strong emotional bond, due to how it was created and how it's been passed down, but that's more speculation than anything, and I think that even if Orochimaru doesn't have a strong personal connection to the jutsu, except maybe through Jiraiya, Orochimaru's knowledge of how jutsu work and his chakra control would likely compensate for his lack of deep emotional bonds. So, now that we've established that Orochimaru feasibly at least could perform the jutsu, let's talk about what it would provide for him as a character and what potential changes that he can make that no other user has made up to this point. When looking at Orochimaru's fights over the franchise, he tends to use a couple of things in particular to give himself an advantage over his opponent. Firstly, Orochimaru relies heavily on his regenerative abilities to give himself an advantage over his opponent and allow him to outpace them. Secondly, he uses various types of poisons in order to cripple any opponents that may seem too powerful for his liking or opponents that he can't conventionally damage. And lastly, he uses various long-distance attacks, such as his massive snake summons, be it in both quantity or size, and even something as simple as stretching his neck out super far in order to protect his body while in battle. Now, while Orochimaru is no slouch in close quarters combat either, his usual means of damage up close and personal are either his bare fists or kinjutsu. Sometimes these means will damage the opponent, but very rarely does it end up in significant damage. So, in order to counteract his lack of up-close destructiveness, the Rasengan would make the perfect addition to his arsenal. Having access to not only all 5 chakra natures, but also yin and yang release, Orochimaru seems like an obvious candidate for someone who can not only wield the Rasengan, but also expand upon it as well. Of course, Naruto has access to all chakra natures and yin and yang release as well, but Naruto's fighting style is vastly different than Orochimaru's. With Naruto, for the most part, it's pretty obvious that he intends to overwhelm with his clones and do massive damage with various types of Rasengan. Orochimaru, however, tends to take his time with his opponents, evident by his main fighting tactics that we discussed previous. Naruto, having access to various tailed beast chakra and years of experience with the Rasengan, has left him with so many variations that he feasibly shouldn't need to make any new types of Rasengan. However, if Orochimaru were to recently develop the ability to use said jutsu, we could potentially see either a fire, water, or earth release Rasengan that hasn't even been developed yet, as far as we know. Not only that, but it is my opinion that Orochimaru could create a Rasengan variant that would damage the opponent over time with a poisoning type effect, similar to, but not the exact same as, Uzuhiko. Lastly, I'd like to talk about what this would do for the character thematically. As stated previous, the Rasengan, while never exactly stated anywhere, seems to be a jutsu that has an inherent connection with strong emotional bonds and positive ties. And as we definitely all know, Orochimaru is neither a positive figure or someone who has very many positive ties in their life. However, in recent years, there's been a definite change in the character. Post-Shippuden, we see that Orochimaru not only claims parental guidance over his own child, but also seems to have lost a lot of his evil tendencies after being a part of the village again for such a long time and watching Sasuke's journey of redemption. If Orochimaru were to learn the Rasengan, I think it would not only make the character immensely more powerful, but could lead to a touching moment where Orochimaru has several flashbacks to his times with Jiraiya and Tsunade, and finally realize all the things he truly regrets, ending with him truly devoting himself to the next generation and stopping his search for immortality. Or who knows, maybe after learning the Rasengan, Orochimaru would just go on a murderous rampage because now he's a lot more powerful.